They say marriage is built on trust, but what happens when that trust is shattered? For years I believed my wife, Sarah, and I had the kind of love that could weather any storm. We weren't perfect, no one is, but we were a team, or so I thought. Looking back now, I realize there were cracks I should have noticed earlier. Small things that didn't add up. But when you love someone, you don't see the cracks, you focus on the whole picture. The day I discovered her betrayal started like any other. I was working in my home office, buried in spreadsheets and emails, while Sarah was out meeting a friend for lunch. I never doubted her stories. She was my wife, my partner, the woman I'd pledged my life to. But that afternoon, everything changed. It began with a text message. My phone buzzed, and I glanced at the screen to see a notification from a number I didn't recognize. The message was short but chilling. "You deserve to know the truth. Check this out." Attached was a screenshot, a grainy photo of Sarah sitting in a cafe, leaning across the table, toward a man I didn't recognize. Their faces were close to close for comfort. At first I tried to rationalize it. Maybe it was an old friend, someone she hadn't mentioned. But deep down, I felt something. I couldn't ignore a gnawing suspicion that this wasn't innocent. I stared at the photo for what felt like hours before deciding to dig deeper. Sarah returned home that evening, her face glowing as she talked about her wonderful lunch with Lisa, her longtime friend. I nodded along, hiding the turmoil brewing. Inside me, if she was lying, she didn't let it show. But now, I couldn't unsee the photo the way she leaned in, her hand brushing the stranger's arm. Over the next few days, I started paying closer attention. Sarah's phone, once left casually on the counter, was now glued to her side. Her weekend errands stretched longer, and her explanations became vaguer. Just running to the store, she'd say, but she'd return hours later with only a bag of apples or a carton of milk. One evening, as she showered, I decided to check her phone. My hand shook as I unlocked it. Her password hadn't changed in years. I scrolled through her messages, finding nothing unusual at first. But then I noticed a thread under a name I didn't recognize. Lauren. When I opened it, my heart sank. Lauren wasn't Lauren at all, it was the man from the cafe photo. Their messages were filled with flirtatious banter, plans for meets, and inside jokes I didn't understand. The most damning text read, "I can't wait to see you again. Same. Place tomorrow." I felt a wave of emotions, anger, betrayal, sadness, and disbelief. But above all, I felt a cold resolve. I wasn't going to confront Sarah, not yet. If she thought she was getting away with this, I wanted her to keep thinking that. I needed to gather more evidence to ensure that when I finally confronted her, there would be no way for her to deny it. The next day, I told Sarah I had to work late at the office. In reality, I parked my car a block away from the cafe, where her messages indicated she'd meet him. From my spot, I had a clear view of the entrance. Sure enough, an hour later, Sarah arrived. She wasn't alone. The man from the photo was with her, his hand resting casually on her lower back as they entered. I snapped photos, my heart pounding. Watching them laugh, leaning toward each other and share stolen touches, was like a knife twisting in my chest. But I stayed calm. I wasn't ready to act just yet. Over the next few weeks, I built my case. I tracked her movements, took screenshots of her messages, even recorded a phone call where she lied about her whereabouts. By the time I was ready to confront her, I had everything I needed, undeniable proof that she'd been cheating for months. The confrontation happened one Friday evening. I waited until dinner was finished, the dishes cleared, and the kids were upstairs. Sarah was scrolling through her phone, oblivious to the storm about to hit. I placed the printed photos and screenshots on the table in front of her. "This?" she asked, her voice laced with confusion. "Tell me," I said, my tone calm but firm. "Is this Lisa? Or Lauren? Or someone else I should know about?" Her face paled as she flipped through the evidence. For a moment, she didn't speak, her eyes darting between me and the photos. "Mike, I can explain," she finally stammered, tears welling up in her eyes. "Go ahead," I said. "I'd love to hear it." Sarah tried everything: denial, excuses, even gaslighting. She claimed the messages were just jokes, that the Man was an old friend she'd reconnected with. But when I played the recording of her phone call, her facade crumbled. I didn't mean for it to happen, she said, sobbing. It was just... I felt lonely, Mike. You've been so busy with work, and I needed someone to talk to. Talk to? I repeated, my voice rising. This wasn't talking, Sarah. This was betrayal. You lied to me over and over again. Did you think I wouldn't find out? Her tears didn't move me. I had spent weeks grieving the loss of trust in our marriage, and by the time I confronted her, I was emotionally spent. All I felt was a cold detachment. I told Sarah I wanted a divorce at first. She begged me to reconsider, promising to end the affair and go to counseling. But I had made up my mind. Trust, once broken, is nearly impossible to rebuild it. I couldn't see a future with someone who had so casually destroyed ours. I moved quickly. I froze our joint accounts, ensuring she couldn't drain them for her escapades. I filed for divorce the following Monday, citing infidelity as the reason. My attorney assured me that with the evidence I had, the court would likely favor me in the settlement. Sarah's affair partner, as it turned out, wasn't interested in her long term when she told him about the divorce. He ghosted her, leaving her to face the fallout alone. Meanwhile, I focused on rebuilding my life. It's been a year since that night. The divorce was finalized a few months ago, and I've moved into a new home. The kids stay with me most of the time, though they still see Sarah on weekends. I haven't told them the full story there. Too young to understand the complexities of betrayal, but they know that their parents couldn't make it work. As for Sarah, I hear she's struggling to adjust. She's reached out a few times, apologizing and asking if we can try again. I always give her the same answer. Some things can't be undone. Looking back, I'm grateful for the friend who sent me that initial text. Without it, I might have remained in the dark, clinging to a marriage that was already broken. The experience taught me the importance of trust and the power of taking control. When someone tries to take advantage of you, if there's one thing I've learned, it's this. Betrayal doesn't define you. It hurts. Yes, but it also shows you who you are and who you can become. I'm stronger now, more focused, and determined to build a life where honesty and respect are non-negotiable. Thanks for reading my story. If you've ever been through something similar, or just want to hear more stories like this, hit that subscribe button. Life is full of twists, but together we can navigate them and come out stronger on the other side.